Welcome to Yellow Skunk Farms. Quick disclaimer, this is a 21-year-old and up channel, so if you're not 21 years of age, please leave the channel now. I would appreciate it. You are looking at our latest work. We laid the rest of the concrete down. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but if you can see the dip here, so we're going to have a strong waterfall coming off of there, boom, and it's going to rush down, and then it's going to hit, and we're going to create like maybe a pool here, and we're going to put a rock here, and we're going to try and spin some water as it runs down. It's going to hit a rock and it's going to spin, and it's going to come on down. It's going to be flowing down. You can see a dip here as well. I'm going to try and run that water through here. I've extended, and I know this is hard to see, and I might just tear stuff up over here. Get my broom out the way. So this is hard to see, but we're going to run cobblestone. I've got some cobblestone here right in front of me. So these cobblestones we'll be placing along the edges. Boom, 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 and then we're going to stack them up until we get the height we want for the creek wall. So this wall will come on up to about here. The creek wall will come up slightly below the height of this. All soil comes in here, coming up to the side of this wall, and then the soil will come up and rest below the creek walls. So the soil will come all the way up to here, resting up against this. The soil will not be able to leach into the creek, but we'll place sand, silt, and clay along the tops of these cobblestones in places that we want the water to wick up. And it'll wick up over top of it into the sand and silt. Same sand and silt we put on the floor over here. That's in our E-Horizon. And that water will wick up over top of that wall into our soil pockets, where we can place our plants, and the plant roots will find that water source. They will grow to it, but we also want, even distribution of water. That's why we use the sand and silt that we bring up over it and just keep extending it over top of the soil. Now, as the worms and the critters break down this sand and silt, turning it into organic matter and worm castings, it still wicks water. I'm noticing that it still wicks a tremendous amount of water. And this grass has gotten to the point where we can't even get down here to the sand and silt. Like, it has completely grown up. We have to make sure that we get some of this algae out. Now, I just pick it out. I don't try and put anything in the creek to minimize the algae. We want the algae to grow. That's the biggest thing that a lot of people don't understand. We need this. This is what's cleaning our water. Look at all the poo trapped in it, all the debris, the sand, the nitrates, everything that's on my hand here. All this stuff needs to come out and go into our soil. This is food for our critters, our worms, our microscopic organisms that are in the soil. This is what we are feeding. And this algae is photosynthetic, so it actually produces oxygen. Hence let me get that off my finger. You can see the air bubbles. You can see the oxygenation of those. See those bubbles? That's oxygen. When those pop, it produces oxygen, and that's how we are on this planet. So the algae is not a bad thing. Too much algae is a bad thing. This is why we have to steward. We have to take this out, put it in our soil. It's great energy. It's an energy source. It's the easiest way to look at it. It's an energy source. It is photosynthesizing the light and producing what we need for everything to grow and live and be happy. Look at the grass. I'm gonna have to come in here and cut the grass. All this, it's just growing. It's gonna get out of hand, so we just gotta bring the lawnmower in here and you cut it down. You know what I'm saying? Look at all this. It's gonna grow. None of this was here. None of this. I mean, it's all growing because of the creek. It's connecting. It's wicking water up into the, look at that rock way down there. Look how wet it is. Look how moist it is under that. We don't have to water it at all. Roots attach. All that biology there, it's breaking down organic matter. This is why everything I chop and drop is gone in days. You know what I mean? It just breaks down super fast. Chop and drop everything, lay it on the surface, and just let the critters do the rest. Elephant ears. I mean, look how big these things are. We got them coming out down here at the bottom. This is a good thing. Now this guy being healthy here, look how it's coming out. It's coming out from the bottom. So that tells me these roots are in my E horizon. And they're not, at first they were funky. They were getting these brown spot, fungal disease, all this stuff. Now it's nice and healthy. The system is dialing itself in. You know, we're not getting any more. Now eventually this will, they do get these brown spots as they get older. But if they stay healthy for quite a while, they get big. And they are great photosynthesizers. They have huge leaves. The veins are pushing exudates. They do produce trichomes. You can see the trikes. They produce this like yellowish slime type thing that's really great for pests. I mean, never see a pest on an elephant ear. You may see a fungal disease. It'll let you know if you're overwatered. And we do pluck these leaves off just to keep it, you know, everything's growing. So we do have to remove leaves. Like I like to remove fingers, like this one here. I was waiting. You see how this is covering up those bud sites? We don't need this big guy in here no more. I'm just going to take it, finger it, leave everything else. I want as much photosynthesis as I can get. This big one here, we're going to remove it. We're going to remove this one here. Oops, sorry about my camera work. And that's going to open up those light holes and air holes. But I'm not going to do it all at once. I'm going to do this, you know, daily basically, but only taking a few a day, and that thins them out. You can see how we got that light going down in there. This is just a little bit of stress. I don't like stressing my plant. Like 1 or 2 a day keeps the herm away. That's what I say. You know what I mean? Keeps the hermy away. Oh, anybody that came out to Growers Paradise yesterday, it was great meeting everybody. I'm glad everybody came out. It was a great time. I had fun talking. I know I like to yamble, or not yamble. What does yamble mean? I don't even know. I know I like to talk a lot. Yamble, I think, is a new word. Damn, that thing smells good. Yeah, appreciate everybody, and Growers Paradise, thanks for putting it on. Thanks for inviting me. They're out in Mechanicsville, Virginia. If you're ever out in Mechanicsville, great little shop. Stop by and at least say hi to. Like-minded people, you know what I mean? That thing's, look at those things, just beautiful plants. Just those are the raspberry deadhead. That one and that one and that one. We'll go over to that one in just a second. But this one turned out to be just gorgeous. Can't wait for that thing to flower. Can't wait for all of them to flower, but you can see how we've kept them nice and short, stocky. That's because we haven't had any red. So we're going to be flipping the flower today. We have no far red or deep red running the whole time. That's kept these plants short and nice and stocky. And what we're going to do is we're going to lower the intensity of the cool blue. We're not going to get rid of it like I did last time. We're going to leave like maybe 50%, 25%. Then I'm going to bring, or maybe 50%, 50%. Bring in 25% of the far red and maybe 10% of the red. And then we will let that go for a couple of weeks and then gradually lower the reds. These things will, once I add these red lights, these things will stretch like crazy. And we're going to see how much they stretch. I have a feeling, going by the way they've been growing every day, they're going to stretch a lot and fast. I turned the intensity down on the light because I was seeing red streaking. Some of that is, I'm pretty sure it looks more mainly light related because I had the lights turned up a little too high, and these were, you can see right through here, but it's not past, it's not down there really. It starts to go away and then it starts to come up when right in here where that light was intense, and then I'll turn the light down. Now you don't see it anymore. So it tells me that it was the light. You see right through there, it was too intense. That light was pushing too much, and it was, I don't know the exact definition of what it was doing to it, but that's what I'm 99.9% sure that was the cause. And a lot of times that is the ordeal. Most of the time it is not a nutrient deficiency, it is an environment issue. Most, especially if you're in living soil, if you're in a bagged living soil, most of this bagged living soil these days, if you're getting it from a reputable person or company, it's already dialed in. Like, the nutrients are there, it's been tested. The nutrient isn't the problem, it's the environment that the plant is in isn't suitable for what it's doing. And most of the time that is the light issue, or it could be, temperature, humidity. But I know that that's not the case in here because I know my environment is dialed in. The temperature is 82 to 83 degrees. It's about 70% humidity, which gives me a VPD of around 1.15 to 1.25 in that range, which is great for in here. I can maintain that environment. The plants love it. It's the light that is my gas pedal. So in the car, if I want to go fast, I want to push the light. That's going to push photosynthesis, it's going to push exudates, it's going to push those sugars down into the soil. Sometimes that's too much. There's a fuel tank on this thing and it can go over. We don't want to go over. We don't want to go empty. We want to be right in the middle or just above. I like being just above the 3/4 mark. I don't want to be full, but I want to be in between 3/4 and full. That goes with the water, the moisture content in the soil. That goes for, the light intensity. And when I turned the light up, I started seeing stress. Turn the light down, stress went away. It was that simple. And most of the time I've noticed that if you're dialed in your environment, your temperature, your VPD, the light is the next thing. The light dictates how big these plants get, how they stretch, how they form. Just about everything, really. I mean, the sun is the dictator. It is the source of all life on this planet. And if you can dial in the sun, I know these aren't the sun, but what I do have an advantage on with these Grand Masters is that I can take away the red, which we know red. So these are 4 channels. This is my cool white, warm white, red, far red, or deep red, far red, or it's far red, deep red, one or the other, I don't know, but these are the reds here. I haven't turned them on at all, and by not turning them on, everything grows great, but they don't stretch, because that red is what's mimicking that morning sun, kind of that redness, that red hue you see in the mornings and in the evenings. That's when that's that kind of light that the plant is reacting to. It's going up. We're not gonna. It's nighttime. We need to stretch to that light. We want to stretch and get to that light, and that's what the plant is doing. It's basically stretching to that red hue in the light, that spectrum. I'm no light scientist, but this is just what I've researched and found to be that, you know, the basic simple idea here is just to basically balance everything out. And if you can balance the light intensity to the environment, everything just goes right. You get healthy plant. Healthy plant translates into no pests, translates into no fungal diseases, no bacterial diseases, because none of that stuff can survive in this dialed in environment. So if the environment's right, usually everything else falls into place. You get healthy plant, you get high Brix in your plants, because the plants are what's producing the sugar. We don't need to add molasses or sugars or anything like that. That's all, in my opinion, a way to jump start a dead system. If I were to throw molasses in a system that's already running, I will throw it out of balance. If you understand what I'm saying, it's like taking 15 Red Bulls at one time. We don't need that. It's not good, it's not healthy, and it just gets us jittery and things go crazy. The heart rate goes up, things flow faster, things get out of balance, and voila, you have disease and pests trying to come in and balance out the balance. You know, that's what weeds are for, that's what pests are for. They're there to get rid of the disease. They're there to eat the dead and poop it out, and hopefully over time turn that poo into organic matter rich for future plants to be healthy. And that's when weeds, and a weed is a mechanic. You know, we look at it as a mechanic. It's coming in to fix a problem. If you have weeds in your garden, then you have a problem. Those weeds are there to fix it. It's usually a calcium deficiency. You know, you're going to get, dandelions everywhere, which the dandelion is a calcium hog. It's got that huge big taproot, and it's pulling calcium up from the bottom, because calcium is a heavy element and it sinks. So that dandelion is trying to pull that calcium up. And I can show you, we have a dandelion flowering over here right now. Yep, look at it. There it is. See our dandelion? Look at this. I was going to pull, I never let them go to flower, but I'm going to let this one go to flower. Let this one go. She stretched, didn't she? Trying to get that light. Got a lot to fight through with this girl right here. Excuse me. Take these 2 fingers right here. Just open that up a little bit. So once this thing, like I was saying, once the system dials itself in, you get the environment right. It's really all about the light. The light dictates everything. If you can spectrum tune, If you want to keep your plant short, you got to be able to get a light that takes the red completely out and just can run that blue spectrum, that white blue spectrum. Now, you know, you can't see the blue. It's, you know, it's mainly all the colors you shouldn't be able to see with the naked eye if you're not familiar with, you know, light spectrums. You know, you can't see the green. You're not supposed to see the green light. You're not supposed to see the blue. It's all supposed to look white. You shouldn't be able to see the red, you know, unless it's early morning. You know, you can see the red in the sun in the early morning, but by the time midday comes, it's a white light, you know, with a goldish hue, like you see there. But when we bring in the red, that's when she'll stretch. We get nice flower, and we'll end the last couple of weeks in just the blue spectrum, taking the red. We're only going to run the red during the first 4 weeks or so of flower. Then we're going to take it out. That'll stop the plants from stretching and then start packing on the meat. All right, guys, that's how we roll. And I appreciate everybody hanging out. We're going to be stacking some rocks today. We're going to stack rocks. I've got 2 buckets of cobblestone here. We're going to try and start the creek wall edges and then concrete that in. But right now everything is concreted in. So all we have to do is just start stacking. We'll stack, we're going to have to go to Luckstone tomorrow and get more cobble. But what you'll see on top is just like none of this that you see here. You're not going to see it. Like, you will not see anything that you see here. All of this will be covered. There'll just be cobblestones on top of the channel, then the soil will come in covering all this up. What you see here is the bottom of the creek, so you won't see that either. That'll have sand, silt, clay, pea gravel in it. So this is just the inner workings. It will look like this, where you won't see anything but that creek flowing through and soil on the side. And with that, I shall leave you today, and I appreciate everybody hanging out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.